Crunch time here on The Jump. Rich Paul's sports agency Klutch Sports Group is partnering with major Hollywood firm United Talent Agency. Klutch will keep its own branding while also operating under UTA as UTA Sports. Nick, what does this deal do for Rich Paul and the NBA?
It's something that Brian has said repeatedly over the years. I mean, LeBron has changed the game. It's another way of showing just how much power he has and how much power he has brought to the people around him.
And for all the people who think that Rich Paul is going to go away when LeBron's career is over, this is just another indication that that is not happening. He is in it for the long haul. He is one of the league's power agents. He makes power moves.
His client list speaks for itself. It's beyond LeBron. All right,
but
Ben.
It's people still, to this day, to this week, have told me that very thing.
All right. Well, another client of his, Ben Simmons, signed a 5-year, $170 million max contract and said he will not play for Australia in this year's FIBA World Cup. Brian, is it a bad look for Simmons to withdraw from Australia?
Well, he first came out and said he was going to do it, and he's also going to participate, I think is what this letter said, he's going to participate in some of their exhibition games. They're scheduled to play the U.S. team twice. I'm confused as to why he would do all that and then not go out and play for their Olympic berth. But I will say this, when you're the best player on the continent, which he is, he has the ability to step in and play in the Olympics next year, so that's probably what he's going to do.
Lock yourself in the gym, learn how to shoot a jumper. That's it. That's what it boils down to.
I think part of that comes when you actually play against people, not against cones or whatever.
Chairs.
ESPN.com released its NBA Power Rankings for the 2019 season, and the Milwaukee Bucks voted as the top team. Brian, did the Power Rankings get it right?
Yeah, first off, the Raptors, I'd like to point out, still a top 10 team, and I like that. The Bucks have the most continuity. You talked about this yesterday. I mean, continuity is king in the NBA.
Can't wait for the
second
shot.
I think the Eastern Conference is a little bit shallower than it was in years past. Nick, you don't agree with me?
The Bucks? Come on now, it's the best team in the league right now. There's not enough poop to go around to express how I really feel here.
Did they win 30 games last year, or did they win 60?
They signed Eric Bledsoe for $80 million. How did he do in the playoffs?
I think it's $50 million guaranteed.
Oh, way too much. Come on now.
Who's your number one?
How did Giannis do in the playoffs?
He's getting better. He's going to learn how to shoot, too.
Who you got? Who you got?
I'm taking the Clips. With Kawhi and Paul George defensively with that group that's already in place with Doc, if they stay healthy, they're the team. And meanwhile, how the hell did the Nuggets get to number 2?
Continuity, baby.
Well, but I mean, come on, they haven't done anything yet. The Nuggets have not shown yet that they have difference makers in the postseason, and that is what the Clippers now have in spades.
Well, I mean,
the Clippers were third, one like they were ninth.
Yeah.
Just for
they need to be above Milwaukee and Denver. I know that.
By the way, shout out to Marcellus Wiley, who for years said Clip City, Chip City, and we used to laugh at him because it sounded so ridiculous. And now
it was ridiculous. In fairness, it was ridiculous.
I mean, now it might actually happen. There's been a lot of speculation on the Thunder's future plans for Chris Paul, but Sam Presti sounded like someone who wants to keep Paul around in his statement on CP3. Presti's statement reads, quote, "Getting a player of Chris's caliber gives us another experienced playmaker and leader, while the additional draft picks continue to allow us to further commit to the long-term vision that we are embarking on for the Thunder. We welcome Chris back to Oklahoma City, where as a member of the Hornets, he helped pave the way for the Thunder's arrival in OKC. Brian, do you think OKC is planning to keep CP3? Let's get the cards up.
True or false? Sam Presti has one of the best fades in the NBA. I think that's true.
I'm like,
yeah, that's okay. Paul on the Thunder.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is a negotiating position for the Thunder, which is we're not looking to sell, but it's also a reality. In talking to some parties involved here, I think the reality has set in that Chris Paul is probably going to start the season with the Thunder. There's not a lot of momentum towards a trade right now. The Thunder talked with the Heat about a Westbrook trade. That didn't go anywhere. The asset situation is still the same. My belief is that Chris Paul, is probably headed towards starting the season with the Thunder. Will he finish the season with the Thunder? That's a different question.
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks to just how difficult the proposition is of him and the mileage and the money that's owed to him in the future. But the other side of this, I was having this conversation the other day, and someone was shocked I said this. I don't think the Thunder are going to be bad. Like, that's a good team. Not championship.
That can be awful.
And maybe not playoff even. But that's not an easy
Nick
team
thinks
to play
you should be ahead of the Nuggets.
No, you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Steven Adams.
Steven Adams. Danilo Gallinari, who last year many people said should have been an all-star. Schroeder. And now you add Chris Paul to the mix. Like, I don't think
they're
that's
going to win.
bad
They're going to win games. And the other thing is, even if they wanted to tank, there's some terrible teams in the East. like Washington, Cleveland, Charlotte. I don't think even if they wanted to, they could get way down there. So I think it makes more sense for them to try to continue to compete.
When you own this many picks, is it worth it to get out of Chris Paul's deal to just throw 1 or 2 of these picks to make it happen?
I don't think you're going to see them giving a pick to get rid of Chris Paul, at least not in this particular
That
time frame.
contract is just so horrendous. My mom was telling me I was too tough on Chris Paul the last week, so, you know, I understand that, but $124 million.
Here's the thing. The contract
He
is
created it,
and
the situation
and the
for himself.
contract gets shorter every day. And if he plays this next season for the Thunder and plays well, it might be a different
Is there a
discussion.
scenario where someone today says, no, Chris Paul for me, that trade deadline says, oh, I need Chris Paul now?
For sure. And again, in talking
For $124 million?
and getting a feel of the Thunder, I think the Thunder are willing to wait.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.